Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharane Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschate Deshatarane Jai Shri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna everyone. So today we are reading from Caitanya Caritamrta, Antya Leela, chapter 19. The Lord's unconceivable behavior. So we'll start today. We'll start from text number 54. So Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Rai then devised various means to pacify the Lord. They sang songs of meeting that transformed his heart and made his mind peaceful. So Mahaprabhu Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was acting like a madman, and he was saying, he was speaking in the mood of Srimati Radharani, saying like, "My dear friend, where is Krishna? Kindly let me see him. My heart breaks at not seeing his face even for a moment. Kindly show him to me immediately, otherwise I cannot live." So like this, Mahaprabhu was reciting many things. He was speaking in mood of Radharani. So Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Rai, now they made a plan to pacify the Lord, and now they started singing the songs, which songs about meeting of Radha and Krishna, just to pacify Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So as we previously discussed also, Swarup Damodar Goswami and Ramananda Rai, they are very expert to pacify Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. No one is expert than Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Rai. So, so they again pacified Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in text number 30, when Advaita Acharya sent Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu the message like this: "Please inform Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is acting like a madman, that everyone here has become mad like him. Inform him also that in the marketplace rice is no longer in demand." So Advaita Acharya indirectly was saying that now everyone is mad in Krishna's love. Even they don't care for rice. Everyone, rice is the most common thing people care for. In Bengal, Bengali people like rice very much. But even in Bengal, Bengali people are, rice is not in demand. Krishna is only in demand. So Advaita Acharya indirectly, he was saying that for what purpose you came, that purpose is already being done. So you may go back to your abode. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, from that day, it is said that in text number 30, from that day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's emotional state changed markedly, and his feelings for separation from Krishna doubled in intensity. So Mahaprabhu knew that the time was coming to end his pastimes in this material world. So now he is manifesting his ecstasy double, in double. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lamented in this way, half the night passed. Then Swarup Damodar made the Lord lie down in the room known as Gambira. After the Lord was made to lie down, Ramananda Rai returned home, and Swarup Damodar and Govinda lay down at the door of the Gambira. Before, Govinda only he used to lay down at the door of Gambira, but Mahaprabhu is now, ecstasy is now getting intense day by day. So Swarup Damodar is also Now he is also laying. So Mahaprabhu can do anything. He had already ran out. So in previous chapter, how he was found, how he was rescued from the sea. So seeing all these activities, Swarup Damodar personally, he was lying at the door of Gambira. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed awake all night chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, his mind overwhelmed by spiritual ecstasy. So Mahaprabhu, when he was in ecstasy, he used to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra all night. So that's what Mahaprabhu wants us to do, but it's hard to do. So, but so Mahaprabhu used to do that all night in spiritual ecstasy. So feeling separation from Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so distraught that in great anxiety, he stood up and began rubbing his face against the wall of the Gambira. So the walls of the Gambira is not like this marble or the concrete of cement. It was not like that. It was like of cow dung. They used to polish the wall with the cow dung, and it used to get we may have seen how the villages homes are. It is all dry. So in that dry wall, made of cow dung, Mahaprabhu used to rub his face against the wall of Gambira. Blood oozed from many injuries on his mouth, nose and cheeks. But due to his ecstatic emotions, the Lord did not know it. So Mahaprabhu was rubbing his mouth, nose and cheeks due to ecstatic emotions. You can just imagine we ourselves rubbing our face in wall. Just by rubbing our hand, sometimes we mistakenly rub our hand against the wall. There is so much pain. So Mahaprabhu is rubbing his face. And the blood oozed from many injuries of his mouth, cheeks. In ecstasy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rubbed his face against the wall all night long. So it's saying all night long, not only say 1-2 minutes, all night long Mahaprabhu was rubbing his face. So we may have experienced the wound. It is more severe the more deep it gets. Like Mahaprabhu was rubbing. So not only the skin portion, but inside the skin, the flesh, it was everything he was rubbing. So blood was everywhere. It is mentioned that in Sri Mahaprabhu's Gambira, the room was full with blood. Every day Mahaprabhu used to do the same thing, same activity. This is the only activity of one night. So Mahaprabhu used to do this every day. So every day, so Gambira used to be full of blood because Mahaprabhu used to rub his face. And in ecstasy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rubbed his face against the walls all night long, making a peculiar sound, gong gong, which Swarup Damodar could hear through the door. So Swarup Damodar was sleeping outside the room, and so when we also sleep, when we hear some particular sound, we also wake up. So Swarup Damodar Goswami was sleeping, and he was hearing some gong gong, some sound like that, and the rubbing of the face, like when we rub, like we rub, some sound vibration comes from that rubbing. So as I said that it was Gambira was all like made from it was decorated by there were no cements, but it was all made up by cow's dung, and it was so rough. So the sound was, the sound would come of the friction against the wall. So Swarup Damodar Goswami was hearing the sound. So he was thinking from where the sound is coming, gong gong. So when Mahaprabhu was rescued before in previous chapter, he was also making a gong gong sound when he was rescued. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami hasn't also mentioned what Mahaprabhu was trying to say, gong gong. So maybe what Mahaprabhu was he was making gong gong like that sound from his face. He was making. So, and after that, lighting a lamp, Swarup Damodar and Govinda entered the room. When they saw the Lord's face, both of them were full of sorrow. So, of course, they will be, because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was their life and soul. So if we love someone truly, if we see someone in that condition, if we see someone we love in the condition where they have blood all over their face, injury all over their face, we will be full of sorrow. So Govinda and Swarup Damodar were full of sorrow. Sorrow means they were crying. Sorrow means not only lamenting, but sorrow means crying. So they brought the Lord to his bed, calmed him, and then asked, "Why have you done this to yourself?" So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, "I was such in anxiety that I could not stay in the room. I wanted to go out, and therefore I wandered about the room looking for the door." So there were not like these lights 500 years ago. So Mahaprabhu's room was all dark, so he wanted to go out, but no, he couldn't go out because all doors were locked. So he was constantly hitting his head, in the walls. So it is mentioned that the mood was which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is manifesting, same mood Srimati Radharani manifested when Krishna was away from Vrindavan. So Mahaprabhu, these ecstatic symptoms Radharani also manifested. So this same ecstatic symptoms Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is manifesting. So because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in mood of Radharani, so Mahaprabhu was saying that the room was room was dark and he was trying to go out, but he couldn't go out. He was just unable to find the door. I kept hitting the four walls with my face. My face was injured and it bled, but I still could not get out. Of course, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu previously, he went out from the locked doors. He went out and he was found in cow shed, Gausala, and in couple of instances he have went out from the locked doors. But this times, Lord wanted to engineer some pastimes, so he was saying he couldn't go out, and he was just banging the head. So it is mentioned also that when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in ecstasy, he used to just run and bang his head in the wall, thinking that, oh, there is Krishna, like that. So I want to meet Krishna like that. So Mahaprabhu, we cannot imitate Mahaprabhu, only Mahaprabhu, because he was in Mahabhav. So Mahaprabhu was intensifying his ecstasies now in his last days. In this state of madness, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mind was unsteady. Whatever he said or did was all symptomatic of madness. So Mahaprabhu, whatever he was saying, he was doing, like if we see from external vision, then it would look like all madness. But Mahaprabhu was not feeling any pain. We should know that Mahaprabhu was not, even he had so many injuries in his face, he was not feeling any pain, because from inside he was relishing the topmost transcendental bliss, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Swarup Damodar was very anxious, but then he had an idea. The following day he and the other devotees considered it together. After consulting with one another, they entreated Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to allow Sankara Pandit to lie down in the same room with him. Thus Sankara Pandit lay at the feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the Lord placed his legs upon Sankara's body. So Sankara Pandit, one of the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his name is mentioned in Madhya Lila also. So he was a very fortunate devotee. So only, I think previously Raghunath Bhatta Goswami only had opportunity to sleep with Mahaprabhu, Gambira, for one night. But now Sankara Pandit, he is also staying with Mahaprabhu in the same room when the Mahaprabhu's mood was intensifying. Thus Sankara Pandit lay at the feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Lord placed his legs upon Sankara's body. Sankara became celebrated by the name of pillow of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prabhu Pada Padhana Bali. He was like Vidura, as Sukadev Goswami previously described him. When submissive Vidura, the resting place of legs of Lord Krishna had thus spoken to Maitreya, Maitreya began speaking, his hair standing on end due to the transcendental pleasure of discussing topics concerning Lord Krishna. This is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam 3.13.5. So Mahaprabhu used to he used to keep his feet at the body of Sankara Pandit, who used to lay at the feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sankara massaged the legs of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but while massaging he would fall asleep and thus lie down. He would lie asleep without covering on his body, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would get up and wrap him with his own quilt. So when Sankara was massaging the feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he used to fall asleep. So because he was massaging all night long the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So from this we can understand the mood of Supreme Personality of Godhead. If we try to execute our duty sincerely, even if we are not successful, then Krishna will appreciate it. Krishna will reciprocate with us. Sankara Pandit was feeling asleep. He was, from one sense we can say that he was not doing his duty properly. He was feeling asleep. So, but Mahaprabhu, when he saw Sankara Pandit asleep, he got up and wrapped him with his own quilt, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu is the most munificent avatar. So that's how, for the comfort of his devotees, he will sacrifice his own comfort. So this is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is how merciful Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. Sankara Pandit would always fall asleep, but he could quickly awaken, sit up and again beginning massaging the legs of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this way he would stay awake the entire night. So it is not mentioning 1 hour, 2 hours in the night, but entire night Sankara Pandit would massage the legs of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because devotee ordered Sankara Pandit to stay awake entire night, because if he was asleep then Mahaprabhu could run out again, he would bang his head again, so he had to stay awake entire night. So he used to massage the legs of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So how fortunate is Sankara Pandit, he is getting to massage lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu the entire night. Even the intimate associates didn't get this chance. So Sankara Pandit, so out of fear, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could neither leave his room nor rub his lotus-like face against the wall. So out of fear, even the fear personified is afraid. He is fearful of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. But it's mentioning that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was fearing Sankara. So that's why he was not rubbing his face or leaving his room. So to give pleasure to the devotees, to attract the mind of the devotees, so our mind would not be attracted to the mundane material things. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna, sometimes acts like he is fearful. So we can see in Damodar Leela, when Mother Yashoda is chasing after Krishna, Krishna is crying, Krishna is rubbing his eyes, tears are coming. So he is Supreme Personality of Godhead. He makes everyone cry, but he is crying himself just to attract the mind of his devotees. So that's how Krishna wants us. Krishna wants us to come back home, back to Godhead very much. He wants. So when Gopkumar, this story is mentioned in I forgot, in Sanatana Goswami's scripture, Brihad Bhagavatam Mrita. When Gopkumar, when he finally reaches Golak Vrindavan, when Krishna sees Gopkumar, when Krishna embraces Gopkumar, then both of them faints again and again. Krishna again wakes up, again sees Gopkumar and again faints. So Krishna would say, my friend, where were you? This long, where were you? I missed you so much. Krishna would cry. He was saying like that. Sanatana Goswami writes. So It's a long story, but I just said the climax part. So Krishna wants us to come home, back to Godhead very much. He wants us. That's why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he just said, just chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra and preach Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You will come back to me very soon. So it's very, Krishna wants us, very much. So more than we want Krishna, Krishna wants us more. So if you read that Sanatan Goswami's Brihad Bhagavamrita, we will know how Krishna loves us. What is Krishna's mood? We will understand our mood. So this pastime of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's has been described very nicely by Raghunath Das Goswami in his book known as Gauranga Stava Kalpa Vriksha. Because of separation from his many friends in Vrindavan who were like his own life, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke like a madman. His intelligence was transformed. Day and night he rubbed his moon-like face against the walls and blood flowed from the injuries. May there Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rise in my heart and make me mad with love. So I just want to share one point. What Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he made one he said one thing he said that we are not Vaishnavas, we are Suddha Saktas, we are the worshipper of Shaktis. So original Shakti is Radharani. All the Shaktis come from Radharani. So one day at Radhakunda, the Diwan of Bharatpur state came with his family and they were circumambulating Radhakunda by doing prostrating themselves. So they were doing Dandavat Parikrama, some people from Bharatpur. So one of the disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada saw that and he was saying to Prabhupada that, oh, they have so much esteem for Radharani. And Prabhupada then came out from his inner quarters and said, yes, but their concern for Radharani and our concern for Radharani are quite different. They come to Radharani because she is Krishna's favorite. They come to Radharani because she is Krishna's favorite, but our position is opposite. We worship Krishna because he is Radharani's favorite. Our interest is in Radharani and Krishna is our favorite, and only because he wants Krishna do we have any connection with him. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Prabhupada said that actually we follow Krishna, we love Krishna, we give so much attention to Krishna because he is very dear to Srimati Radharani. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj saying, this is the mood of Gaudiya Vaishnava. So our Srila Prabhupada also, he made so many big temples. So he also gave this ISKCON International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So he always glorified Krishna. So because he was carrying that Gaudiya mood. So if we see Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, if we read their in their bhajans, Narottam Das Thakur, we will know what is the mood of Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So that's why Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj made this point. So we have to know, because we are Gaudiya Vaishnava, we should know in what mood we should worship. So Prabhupada, that's why Srila Prabhupada, so Radharani, as we said in text number 37, what Radharani said, my dear friend, where is Krishna? Kindly let me see him. My heart breaks at not seeing his face even for a moment. Kindly show him to me immediately, otherwise I cannot live. So even for a moment, if Radharani doesn't see Krishna's face, she said, she cannot live. That is the love of Srimati Radharani for Lord Krishna. So Srimati Radharani becomes happy when he sees Krishna happy. Srimati Radharani's pleasure is in Lord Krishna's pleasure. So our Prabhupada, he did. So how we can make Krishna happy? So we always sing in Mangalarti, Yasya Prasada Bhagavad Prasada, Yasya Prasada Nagati Patopi. So if we make our Guru Acharya happy, Krishna will be happy. So seeing Krishna happy, Radharani will be million times more happy. So how we can make our Acharya happy? how we can make Prabhupada happy? By following his instructions. So what is Prabhupada instructions? Prabhupada instructions is chant 16 rounds, follow 4 regulatory principles. So this is the main instruction, and other instruction is please help me distribute these books. Please help me execute my Guru Maharaj order. So this is the order of Srila Prabhupada. So we are Gaudiya Vaishnava. So if you want to please Srimati Radharani, then we have, it's very easy. Just try to execute Prabhupada orders. So if we make Guru happy, Krishna will be happy. Yasya prasado bhagavad prasado. And after seeing Krishna happy, Radharani will be million times happy. So this is the mood of Gaudiya Vaishnava. So not like that directly we can make Radharani or Krishna happy. We should approach to Guru. So Prabhupada has give us how. Prabhupada said, if you want to make me happy, distribute books, preach. So what our Guru orders, we should do exactly. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu orders Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami to write books. But he ordered Raghunath Das Goswami to chant 24 hours a day. So we should follow exactly what our Guru orders. So we are in ISKCON. So our Guru will order us surely to preach. There is no Guru who will say, you go in Vrindavan, chant 24 hours. So our Guru will say, help me to execute Prabhupada orders. So Prabhupada order is always to preach. His Guru Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, he used to also chant 128 rounds a day. He was also Bhajananandi. But for preaching purpose, he came out from Mayapur and he preached all over India. So that is our Gaudiya Vaishnava mood. Everyone, Narottam Das Thakur, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, even Raghunath Das Goswami, who was chanting 22 hours a day, he used to give this Caitanya Caritamrta class 3 hours every evening at the source of Radhakunda. So this is our mood of Gaudiya Vaishnava. Mahaprabhu also gave the same order, and Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati also writes that if we want to achieve the pure love for Radha and Krishna, then we should follow Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mood of servant. So in the mood of servant means we should follow the instruction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Just by following the instruction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mood of servant, we will achieve our highest goal. So what is Mahaprabhu's order? So Mahaprabhu, as he ordered Kurma Brahmana when he was in South India, Yare dekha tare kaha Krishna upadesh, amara agya guru haya tara yei desh. Whomever you see, preach the message of Sri Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam and deliver the whole country. So Mahaprabhu, this is the Mahaprabhu's order. So if you want to get the highest perfection of life, if you want to achieve Radha Krishna, which is our main goal of Gaudiya Vaishnavas, preaching is the essence, Prabhupada said. Preaching is the essence. So Prabhupada was not saying whimsically that preach, because it's our mood only. It's our mood, what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us. So if you want to make Radha Gopinath happy, then this is the very easiest way, just by preaching, just by trying. Prabhupada says in the translation that of the, this Yare dekha tare kaha Krishna upadesh, in that verse. I forgot that verse number. In that verse, Prabhupada says, try to deliver all living entities. Prabhupada says try. Prabhupada didn't say no, you should deliver, but try. Just by trying sincerely, we will attain the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is the secret. If you want to achieve Mahaprabhu's attention, Nityananda's Prabhu's attention, if you want to achieve the highest perfection of our life, if you want to make our life successful, then this is the process. Preaching is the essence. So Chaitanya Caritamrta, if we see, the conclusion comes to there only. The preaching is the essence and how to make Mahaprabhu happy. So I found this nice. So I just wanted to share this, our mood of our Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So coming back to the pastime, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this way stayed immersed day and night in an ocean of ecstatic love for Krishna. Sometimes he was submerged and sometimes he floated. One full night in the month of Vaishak, April and May, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to a garden. The Lord, along with his devotees, entered one of the nicest gardens called Jagannatha Vallabha. So Jagannath Vallabha is the Jagannath's personal garden. Our Lord Jagannath personal garden in Jagannath Puri. So in the garden were fully blossomed trees and creepers exactly like those in Vrindavan. Bumblebees and birds like in the Sukha, Sari and Pika talk with one another. So in Madhya Lila it is also mentioned when Mahaprabhu used to go mad in separation of Krishna, he used to go and dance in the garden thinking it is Vrindavan, and he used to get unconsciousness and he used to fall down in the ground, and devotees used to carry him back to Gambira again. So Mahaprabhu did this many times. So a mild breeze was blowing, carrying the fragrance of aromatic flowers. The breeze had become a guru and was teaching all creepers to how to dance. So the breeze, the air was coming and it was making all the trees and creeper move, dance. Being illuminated by the full moon, the trees and creepers glittered in the light. The 6 seasons, especially spring, seemed present there. Seeing the garden, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality Godhead, was very happy. In this atmosphere, the Lord had his associates sing a verse from Gita Govinda, beginning from the words Lalita Lavangalata, as he danced and wandered about with them. As he thus wandered around every tree and creeper, he came beneath an Asoka tree and suddenly saw Lord Krishna. So this is the picture, like same picture. This is Mahaprabhu, this is the pastime. So it's in the Antya Lila volume 5, the cover of the book. It has the picture of this pastime. Mahaprabhu, he saw Lord Krishna. So when he saw Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began running very swiftly, but Krishna smiled and disappeared. So Krishna smiled, Mahaprabhu saw Krishna and Krishna again disappeared. Having first gotten Krishna and then having lost him again, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fell to the ground unconscious. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he again fell to the ground. He saw Krishna, but Krishna again disappeared. So that is the nature of Krishna. Krishna is very cunning. He likes to play. Krishna is very playful. So sometimes he appears, sometimes he disappears. So that's the mood of Krishna. So that's why our acharyas suggest us to approach to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, because you can never trust Krishna. They say that Krishna can disappear anytime. So they give example like of Raslila, when Krishna called the gopis and he again said go back home, Krishna disappeared. And again in this pastime also they give example of this pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like Krishna giving darshan and he again disappearing, Krishna disappearing. So this is the mood of Krishna. He likes to play. So so it's very hard to handle Krishna. So we can see the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Radharani, by separation of Krishna, because of Krishna, they were feeling so much ecstasy, they were lamenting so much. Externally, they were lamenting, but yeah. The entire garden was filled with the scent of Lord Krishna's transcendental body. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smelled, he fell unconscious at once. So Mahaprabhu first lost him. Mahaprabhu, he fell to the ground unconscious, again woke up. Again now he was smelling all the smell of Krishna, bodily smell of, the smell coming from Krishna's body. When he smelled that, he again fell unconscious at once. The scent of Krishna's body, however, incessantly entered his nostrils, and the Lord became mad to relish it. Srimati Radharani expressed to her gopi friends how she hankers for the transcendental scent of Krishna's body. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recited that same verse and made its meaning clear. So this is a verse from Govinda Lilamrit 8.6. The scent of Krishna's transcendental body surpasses the aroma of musk and attracts the minds of all women. The eight lotus-like parts of his body distribute the fragrance of lotuses mixed with that of camphor. His body is ointed with the aromatic substances like musk, camphor, sandalwood, and Aguru. O my dear friend, the personality of Godhead, also known as the enchanter of Cupid, always increases the desires of my nostrils. So now Kaviraj Goswami, now the Mahaprabhu is glorifying the bodily smell of Lord Krishna. The scent of Krishna's body surpasses the fragrances of musk and bluish lotus flower. Spreading throughout the 14 worlds, it attracts everyone and makes the eyes of all women blind. My dear friend, the scent of Krishna's body enchants the entire world. It especially enters the nostrils of the women and remains seated there. Thus it captures them and forcibly brings them to Krishna. Krishna's eyes, navel and face, hands are like 8 lotus flowers on his body. From those 8 lotuses emanates a fragrance like a mixture of camphor and lotus. That is the scent associated with his body. So Kunti Maharani also prays that Namo Pankaja Navaya, Namo Pankaja Maline, Namo Pankaja Netraya, Namaste Pankaja Granye, Namaste Pankajan Granye. So Krishna's navel is like lotus. Krishna's eyes is like lotus. Krishna's foot, sole of his foot is like lotus. So, Krishna's every thing is like lotus. So, you can see whenever devotees praise, they always compare Krishna to the to lotus, his lotus feet, his lotus petal like eyes, his lotus hands. So I think in Vrindavan, tamal tree, the leaves of it's maybe tamal tree. Yeah, tamal tree. There is the one in our ISKCON Krishna Balaram temple in Vrindavan, Ramanriti, in the courtyard. There is one tree of tamal tree. The tamal tree. There are many in Vrindavan, not many, but one is there also in our ISKCON temple. So the leaves of tamal tree, it is said that it is same like Krishna's body. So if we toss that leaf, it's very so soft. So it says that Krishna body was also like that. So I have also tossed that. The leaves is very so soft. You feel like touching over and over again. You don't feel like leaving it. So it is said that Krishna's body is like that. So if you ever go to Vrindavan, don't forget to experience the touch of that tamal tree. So it is like Krishna's body was like that. It was just comparing. So we can just imagine how soft, tender, beautiful was Krishna. So just by touching that leaf, we don't want to leave that leaf, just so we can understand the mood of gopis, the mood of his cowherd friends. So how they became mad after Krishna left them. So that how beautiful Krishna is. So we cannot even imagine how beautiful Krishna was. No, not was Krishna is. He's still there. So when the sandalwood pulp with aguru, kumkuma and musk is mixed with camphor and sprayed on Krishna's body, it combines with Krishna's original bodily perfume and seems to cover it. Purport. In another version, the last line of this verse reads, Kama devera mana kaila churi. This means the scent of all these substances mixed with the previous scent of Krishna's body and steals away the mind of Cupid. So Krishna is also Madan Mohan, who even steals the mind of the Cupid, who even enchants Cupid is Madan Mohan. So Krishna's one name is also Madan Mohan. The scent of Krishna's transcendental body is so attractive that it enchants the bodies and minds of all women. It bewilders their nostrils, loosens their veils and hairs, and makes them mad women. All the women of the world come under its influence, and therefore the scent of Krishna's body is like a plunderer. Falling completely under its influence, the nostril yearn for it continuously. Although sometimes they obtain it, and sometimes not. When they do, they drink their fill, though they still want more and more, but if they don't, out of thirst they die. So it's saying that out of the nostrils, when they don't get the smell of Krishna, scent of Krishna, they die out of thirst. When they get, they wants to relish it more and more, but when they don't, they get, so it dies out of thirst. The dramatic actor Madan Mohan has opened a shop of saints that attract the women of the world to be his customers. He delivers the saints freely, but they make the woman also blind. They cannot find the path returning home. So Krishna is the supreme, his body, he has not like our material body. We see many people keeping saints, to like artificial smell. So Krishna doesn't need anything or any of that, because he had his own natural smell. So this is Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in fifth canto, in Rishabhadev's story, it is mentioned that Rishabhadev would pass stool and he used to sleep, and he used to play with his own stool. All the stool, he used to cover the, you can say, lotus body of Rishabhadev, because Rishabhadev was incarnation of Krishna. So it was mentioned that Bhagavatam says that Rishabhadev stool used to smell so nice. So that is Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it's very nice pastime of Rishabhadev. So Rishabhadev, when he used to pass stool, he used to play around, he used to sleep there, he used to do everything with there. But it is said that it doesn't used to sting, but it used to smell nicely. To miles it used to smell, it used to give nice smell, transcendental smell. So this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everything he do, there is nothing material. Everything is spiritual and transcendental. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his mind thus stolen by that scent, ran here and there like a bumblebee. He ran to the trees and plants, hoping that Lord Krishna would appear. But instead he found only the scent of Krishna's body. So Mahaprabhu was running here and there and all over the garden, but hoping to find Krishna, but he was only smelling the scent of Krishna's body. Both Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Rai sang to the Lord, who danced and enjoyed the happiness until morning arrived. Then they devised a plan to revive the Lord to external consciousness. Thus I, Krishna Das, the servant of Srila Rupa Goswami, have sung of 4 divisions of Lord pastimes in this chapter. The Lord's devotion to his mother, his words of madness, his rubbing his face against the walls at night, and his dancing at the appearance of Krishna's fragrance. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that he has been able to purport. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that he has been able to describe these 4 pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by blessings of Sri Rupa Goswami. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was not actually a direct disciple of Sri Rupa Goswami, but he followed the instruction given by Srila Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. He therefore acted according to the directions of Rupa Goswami and prayed in every chapter for his mercy. So I was listening to a lecture, and Maharaj was saying, what does it mean to associate with previous acharyas? So it says that if we follow the instructions of previous acharyas, that means we are associating with them. So if we follow the instruction of Rupa Goswami, as he said in Nectar of Instruction, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion, then we are associating with Rupa Goswami. If we are following Prabhupada's instruction, we are associating with Prabhupada. So Prabhupada also said, my Guru Maharaj is always with me. So Prabhupada always says, my Guru Maharaj is always with me. So because Prabhupada was following his Guru Maharaj's order 24 hours. So if we want to associate with previous acharyas, then we have to follow the instruction of our gurus. So I would like to conclude the reading today. So if anyone have any questions, then we can take one question. Anyone? Okay, thank you. Shri Caitanya Caritamrta ki, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.